Hey there, greetings everyone, and welcome to CyberCast After Dark. That's right, the evening cyber show that you put the kids to bed, and we all get to sit back and let the adults have some conversation about cybersecurity, right? Going to be a lot of fun tonight because anybody that knows who our guest is already pretty excited, myself included. We got him waiting in the wings. It's the one, the only, Mr. Tyler Ramsbey. Let's bring him into the show. Mr. Tyler Ramsbey, how you doing? Good night, sir. How's things? How's South Dakota?
Dude, things are going well. I just realized I was gonna post in my own Discord and tell people like, "Hey, come and join our show." So I'm gonna multitask right here in the beginning. But dude,
Do
I'm
it.
super excited to be here. I watch this often. We stream sort of at the same time, but when I see that you're streaming, I will usually hang around and watch it, and then I stream afterwards. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity and for the invite.
Dude, I've been looking forward to this ever since we scheduled it. I've been like, oh man, I can't wait to have Tyler on. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk some serious stuff. And good news is that there's a lot of news in your life, in mine, that is kind of like it's gonna be good, right? There's a lot of stuff that we can talk about and banter and get to things. And of course, we have the chat as well. Chat is always fire. Everybody always brings great questions, great comments. They contribute as much to our conversation as we do. So I'm always super glad to see. And I'm going to go ahead and give some shout outs that I see some great folks already in there. Luke Canfield got in there early. Number one was Red. Welcome, Red. Red was here. Red is here. Good to have you. Nerdpocalypse, Alice Grimm, Harry Houdini, Sozo4110. Who else do we got in there? We've got Anita Schlabach, White Hat Sheepdog. Good to see you. FedEx in the house. What's up, FedEx? The Pain. Always love the Pain. It sounds like a WWE wrestler name, like the
It does.
Pain,
That's
right?
amazing.
My boy CJ's in the chat too. Who else do we got in here? I think that is everybody that is checking in. Oh, we've got the Blues and OX Nacho Shell. I love that. Great name. Great name. Already starting to see people adding my name. And of course, if you want to make sure that I can see what's going on, and if you've got a question for me or Tyler, make sure you at my name so that I can see that really well in the chat and pick that stuff out. So while Tyler's talking, I'll be looking through all sorts of stuff and finding those questions and highlighting them so that we can bring those in. And because I love having them as much as anything else, right? This is a not just a me and you conversation, Tyler. It's always going to be me, you, and chat. And that's kind of what I like about you're very similar. I've watched your stream. I go on a lot and just watch. I kind of lurk from time to time. Or like,
Like,
what's
yeah,
Tyler up to? What's he doing? Oh, he's hacking something again. There he goes. He's got
not
some
all I
hack the
do.
box. It's about all you do. But super fun to watch and to see you guys have such a great community as well. I love to see like Simply Cyber, your Hack Smarter community, my Cybercast community. Everybody's community is just trying finding each other and kind of like building one larger base. It's getting pretty cool. So that said, Tyler Ramsbey in the house. We got to
Let's
start some
go.
things off right. I want to start off with, just in case there's some people out there that don't exactly know who you are. Maybe you should introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about you, and yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah, would love to. So, hi everyone. My name is Tyler Ramsbey. I am a pen tester by day. So, I get paid every single day to hack into companies around the US, sometimes around the world, and I absolutely love it. But more importantly, even more important than that, I am also a husband. I am a dad. I'm a follower of Jesus. I talk about my faith occasionally on my channel, but that's probably the most important part about me. But really, my goal is to hack stuff and teach other people how to hack stuff, of course, ethically. I'm also the founder of Hack Smarter. Hack Smarter is what I think the best infosec community around. You can check it out at hacksmarter.org. But not only that, I also founded a Hack Smarter lab. So I now have my own hands-on labs. Think like Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, but a little more affordable with a big focus on realism. And finally, I'm the founder of Kairos. Kairos is a brand new pen testing firm. It actually hasn't officially launched yet, but that launches on October 1st. So I'm starting that with my friend Jerry. I'm the founder. He'll be the director of strategy, but we'll be doing pen testing through Kairos. So I have a bunch of random things going on that I'm trying to combine all together. and super excited to be here. I also stream all the time. I should maybe mention that. I stream on my own YouTube channel. I also stream on LinkedIn, and I have a Twitch called Hack Smarter. But I stream generally every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from about 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to about 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, except for tonight, because tonight I get to be on CyberCast After Dark. So that's the TLDR of who I am.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful introduction of yourself. You have a lot of things going on, my good man. You are, we were kind of chatting right as you got logged in. You were like, "Yeah, I meant to do this. I meant to do that. I'm kind of busy." It's like, right? What is it with this work that makes us so flippin' busy all the time? Are you constantly this busy, or does it come in waves?
So right now is a very unique season of life. People who have followed my journey, they'll know this, but I'm quitting my job. I'm not like, I didn't get fired. I gave a freaking 3-month notice, like the longest notice you could possibly give. But I work for a pen testing firm right now, and I help lead a lot of our different pen testing services. But as I've kind of seen my personal brand grow and some of my courses and content grow, I've just been thinking, man, I would love to build something for myself rather than always building for other people. And I've always done some like entrepreneurial stuff in the past. So I thought, hey, like, I'm going to try this. I have decent runway, so I can basically try this for a few years. And if I fail miserably, I'll apply for a different job. But I preface all of that to say that right now, at least for me, is really like make it or break it. So I am essentially launching 2 full businesses, Hack Smarter Labs with a focus on practical hands-on labs and courses, and then Kairos, a boutique pen testing firm with a focus on high quality pen testing for really a small number of clients, but providing that much higher quality when it comes to engagements. I then have YouTube, of course. I also do some work for Simply Cyber Academy. And I just announced on LinkedIn as well, this has been finalized for a while, but I'll also be doing like part-time work for TCM Security. I'll be serving as a contractor for them, but on the instructor side of things. So I'll be doing some of their instructor-led live classes for certs like the PMPT. So I have an abnormally high amount of things going on, but it's because I'm trying to build something on my own. And any type of entrepreneurship requires significantly more hours. What makes it tough right now is I still have my normal full-time job. So I work, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in my normal pen testing job. And then I've been working consistently every single night from about 7:30 to midnight or 1 in the morning on Hack Smarter and Kairos Sec and getting these things off the ground so they're ready to launch on October 1st. So very long answer to your question. It's not usually this insane, but I'm at a point where it's like, hey, it's make it or break it. I'm going all in, and we'll see what I'm able to build.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm kind of in the same boat where I'm been making this Pen Test Plus course. I've stepped away from doing all the, stuff that I was doing with Anti-Siphon and Black Hills. And it's like, you know what? I'm a trainer. Let me just get my butt back out there and start training, because I feel like that's the way God's gifted me best, is to help people understand some very complex stuff in a way that's entertaining and engaging. And I'm like, why am I fighting this? What am I doing with all this stuff? I need to get my butt back out there in the hot seat
Mm,
and be helping those people, because I always love going to conferences and things, and people, random folks just stopping. I'm sure you start to get this as well, where they're like, man, I watched your stuff and it helped me get blank, or help me understand this concept, or I got my first cert watching your, that stuff is gold to me. I miss it so much. So I wanted to get back to it. I've been working on that, and since now I'm basically self-employed and working as a contractor,
welcome to
making
the party.
courses. Right? It's like, right? It's like I have never worked this hard in my life. I am
Yeah.
so stinking busy, because you have to do the business side of things as well as the hacking and the fun stuff. And
Mhm.
it's just, that's time consuming. I spend 2 hours just about every morning just checking DMs, reading emails, making sure that all the stuff that I got to post and goes out, that I've got, and I'm sure you get this as well. It's usually not, hey, how's it going? Good to talk with you. Thanks for connecting. It's some very complex, hey, I could really use your help with this. And
Yeah.
I feel like we're both kind of similar in the way where, like, I can't say no to that. It's hard for me to say I can't answer your question right now. I'll get to it when I can, which I will do, but you know what I mean? I can't say no.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of my way about me. But It's kind of fun to watch, and I love that you're doing everything so publicly. And I do want to bring up, I love that your Hack Smarter Labs. When you
Mhm.
dropped that the other day, I was like, "Ooh, thank you." Can I just you got you right here. So I'm just gonna be like, "Thank you, sir." I have long complained about how, like, listen, love Hack the Box, the Try Hack Me's. I used to be in VulnHub a lot when VulnHub was really active
Yeah.
and before they got bought by OffSec. And even when they moved into the whole Proving Grounds thing and, you know, like all the other different CTF and cyber range platforms that are out there. But I always had one gripe with them, which was none of this is realistic. It's
Mhm.
really rare for any of it to be like a real pen test or a real security audit or any of that stuff. This seems to be kind of your stock and trade with what you're doing with Hack Smarter Labs. Am I on the right path with this?
Yeah, so kind of the genesis for the whole Hack Smarter Lab is I was a big fan of VulnLab, not to be confused with VulnHub. VulnLab is a platform founded by XCT, who is one of the top players on Hack the Box. And the focus of VulnLab was much more niche, very hard machines, but with a heavy focus on realism. But then Hack the Box bought VulnLab, and I'm not mad about that. I'm a huge fan of Hack the Box. I think when it comes to platforms with a focus on realism, Hack the Box is the best one out there, like by far. But they purchased VulnLab and then Hack the Box raised their prices. So don't quote me on this, but I'm gonna be pretty close to accurate. They removed their VIP membership, so the only sub they're going to have available to their main platform is VIP Plus, and you're looking at about $25 a month for that. If you want access to their academy, it's an additional subscription on top of that. So I kind of saw this market gap for what VulnLab was fulfilling. So I started Hack Smarter Lab. So we're releasing about 4 to 5 new challenge labs every single month, all fully hands-on. But if you bought an annual plan right now, it's like $6 a month for access to all of the labs. Or you can also buy like an access plan, which gives you access to all the labs and access to all of my courses. I have courses on AWS pen testing, phishing, hacking methodology, Active Directory hacking. And my next course is coming out in October, which is a fully hands-on course on how to do red team operations with Sliver C2. I've built over 15 custom labs for that. And once again, all the labs are hosted in our infrastructure. You don't have to spin it up. You just connect via VPN and you hack away. So I sort of saw a market gap and I was like, hey, I think Hack Smarter could fill this. Like Hack Smarter is a community we started a few years ago. It's grown and it's just been an amazing place. We have like weekly accountability groups. We have study groups for all the major certs. And I thought, hey, if anyone can kind of fill this gap in the market right now, Hack Smarter can fill this gap. So I'm trying to build that alongside of Kairos Sec. So once again, long answer, but yes, you are spot on.
No, I love long answers because they have all the details, and I love what you're doing with that. I think that is absolutely the right way to go. Like you said, the cybersecurity nature abhors a vacuum, and there was definitely a vacuum when it comes to having some like real life hands-on labs. I've learned a bunch of stuff doing Hack the Box, doing Try Hack Me, doing all those other things. I kind of missed the boat on the whole Vuln Lab, which kills me. I'll still go check them out though, just because now that I've got some time on my hands.
You
Oh,
can
that's so
still
fun.
sub to them now. As of now, you can still get a sub. Eventually, it'll all be migrated to Hack the Box, and you'll require like a
Yeah.
VIP Plus sub slash Pro Lab sub. Oh, I have one more thing. Can I shout out
Oh,
one
hit
more
it.
thing?
Yeah, do
So
it.
on the big difference of Hack Smarter compared to other platforms is a big focus on being community driven. So if you've ever submitted a machine to try hack me, which I've made, I think 4 of the official challenge machines, if you submit a machine right now to try hack me, it's over a year wait before they'll even QA your machine because they have such a long process. If you are interested in making like realistic CTF type machines, reach out to me. There's multiple ways you can get a hold of me, but Tyler, here, I'll even type it in chat. Tyler at kairosec.com. Reach out to me if you want to chat. I will also compensate you. So right now, I'm able to offer $50 for a machine or a yearly sub to the platform, which is about $100 total, depending on like what country and what place you're in. But Try Hack Me doesn't compensate you. I will compensate you, and then you can still use the machine on whatever platform you want. I don't take exclusive access to it. So hey, just a shout out to anyone if you want to be part of Hack Smarter. I will pay you to make machines and I'll promote you along the way.
How is this a bad plan? Very, very cool, man. And that's kind of like one of the things that definitely differentiates you and your brands from a lot of the others that are out there. So we really appreciate all that you're doing for the community, for us to be able to get our hands on some really cool stuff and building these realistic labs. Very cool things. I do want to give a shout out to Dakota out there. The bearded IT dad is in the house. This says Tyler Ramsbey, Hack Smarter, and Daniel Lowry is so glad I caught this. Well, we're so glad you caught this
Good
as
to have you here.
well. So glad to have you in the house, my bro. A little birdie told me that Dakota might be coming on CyberCast After Dark very soon. So
Let's
everybody
go,
should,
dude.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to have Dakota on. All right, let's check in with some chat stuff because we got some questions. Let's see what we got going on here. So this one's directed toward me, but I think you could probably jump on this as well. Are you planning to take the announced CompTIA's beta exam for Sec AI? What do you think about that? You think this is just a money grab, or do you think this is actually going to have some real skills behind it when it comes to CompTIA's trying to branch out? I mean, they're always trying to hit the major things that are in technology. This has obviously become one of them. What's your take on that?
I think the content will probably be good. I'm not going to take it. So we could even talk about certifications in general. I have most of the major certs and I have things like the OSCP. There comes a point though where like certs aren't worth it. Like I don't have to take a certification and know that to show that I do pen testing because like I can do a pen test. I can literally show you my pen testing. I have like 11 CVEs now. I don't need a certification. Same with this. I don't know what Sec AI Plus covers, but like I do AI hacking as part of my job as a professional. I'm guessing Sec AI Plus is the defensive side, like how to secure your LLM and AI chatbot. So I'm going to say the content's probably good, but I'm personally not going to take it. What about you? Are you going to take it, or what do you think? You probably have looked into it
So
more than I have.
yeah, I've actually procured. I don't have them readily at hand, but I have procured the draft copy of the exam objectives, and it seems like it's kind of like A plus for AI,
Sure.
if that makes sense, right? So
A
it's
plus is
it's
solid.
A
So
plus
is
is a
it?
solid
Yeah.
exam, right? We
Yeah.
love A plus. It is a phenomenal exam that helps you get those foundational knowledges on just about everything when it comes to technology. Well, this is seems to me just from my cursory glance at these things that that's what they're trying to do is to say, hey, AI is here and it's here to stay, and any new technician that's coming into the field needs to get checked out on AI, and that's what this exam seems to be all about. Let me teach you all you need to know about the AI foundations, the difference between LLMs and agentic, and so on and so forth. Here's automation. Here's how to use all these different tools, and that's what it seems. And then there's AI security as well. So it's touching a broad variety of topics,
Yeah. That's very
and
cool.
so I think it will be a very good. What they do best is CompTIA is phenomenal at going, here is the foundation you need to then go and have that next level conversation. Go after those next level certs for wherever they may come from, because we know that within the next probably year or two, heavy hitting AI certs are going to drop, if not already. Right?
Yeah. You gonna make a
Would love to.
course on this one? This CompTIA Sec AI Plus? It would be amazing if you did.
I could. Yeah, the arm. It's getting twisted. Yeah. I'm gonna definitely look really into and try to carve out some time to see if I can't build something for that very thing. Yeah,
That'd be
it's
awesome.
on my roadmap. It's on my roadmap, right? But great question, White Hat Sheepdog. All right, let's see here. More questions. Let's see here. This one's another one from White Hat Sheepdog. Says, with the news of another merger acquisition of Let's Defend to be part of the Hack the Box, is Tyler Ramsbey training courses besides your own the way to go? Congrats on the Pentest Plus course. Well, thank you on the Pentest Plus course. But Tyler, we get it straight from the horse's mouth. What do you say about this? Enlighten us, sir.
I feel very biased, right, for answering this question. So I'm gonna give it maybe
Okay.
uh, a fuller answer. Number one, I personally think Hack the Box is worth the money, even the $25 a month. There is no other platform that has the quality of labs they have with the focus on realism they have, at least with their recent labs. So huge fan of Hack the Box. That being said, if you are looking for an alternative, I do think the Hack Smarter platform is going to be a really solid alternative. What sets apart Hack Smarter from some of the other platforms are a few things. Number one is, of course, the affordability. It is more affordable than basically any other platform out there. Number two is the focus on quality and realism. Unlike a lot of machine creators, I don't just create machines. Like, I'm a pen tester, I'm a practitioner, I'm not just an instructor about these things. So all of my content comes directly from my day-to-day work as a pen tester. I'm working with large companies, hacking into them, and then I make courses teaching like this is how I actually do this in a real engagement. Number three, the reason I think my platform will stand out is when you look at Hack the Box or Try Hack Me, all of the teaching is text-based teaching. And the reason for that is it's much easier to update text-based teaching when new updates come out. My platform is all video-based and text-based. So if you've ever taken a course from me, every single one of my course is full video of me walking you through and teaching stuff. And then underneath the video, there's also a text component. So whether you prefer video learning or text-based learning, my courses cover both of them. Because I'll give you a number 4 as well. Number 4, with my content, you can either do a subscription. So I shared before, you have the hands-on lab. Some of those do require subscription for the infrastructure on the back end. But like for my courses, all my courses can be either through a subscription or you pay once for lifetime access, and they're incredibly affordable. So all of my courses right now are like under $34 for lifetime access, and I offer a full refund guarantee. This is how confident I am in the content that I make. But if you enroll in one of my courses today over at hacksmarter.org, and let's say you enroll now, but you didn't have a chance to go through it until a year from now, and you go through it a year from now and you're like, you know what, that was out of date, that no longer works now. It won't be, because I keep it updated. But if you decide that on your own, shoot me an email, no questions asked. I will fully refund you. So that's how confident I am in my content. So all that to say, I do think the platform that we are building in the Hack Smarter community is a really good alternative. A second one that I would highlight is simply Cyber Academy. I have some courses on there. I know that's where Daniel's course is going to get posted as well. I would say the difference between that and what I'm building is on Simply Cyber, just due to the back end. There's no way to make hosted hands-on labs, whereas on Hack Smarter, all of my new courses will have full hosted hands-on labs, in addition to the hands-on labs I'm releasing on a regular basis to help people learn. So yes, hacksmarter.org. I'll say it again and again, so you guys remember, hacksmarter.org. Go there right now. Check it out. I do think it's going to be a really good alternative.
For the people in the back, hacksmarter.org, everyone.
Hacksmarter.org.
Put it out there. No, that's really cool. And you know what? I feel like it's not necessarily one versus the other or so on and so forth, because the way that you present things and the way that you teach is going to be different than the way I do it. And it's going to be, your platform is going to be different than Hack the Box, even though you might be covering a lot of the same material. How it gets presented and how it gets done. And for me, what I like to do is I'll go, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and renew my Hack the Box account for a month. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna learn a thing or two. I'm gonna struggle through some fun stuff because it's Hack the Box and that's how they roll. But that's cool. That's what I like about them, right? They come and they punch me in the face, and I go, "This was fun." It's like being an MMA, but it's cyber, right? And then I go, "Cool." Then I cut off that subscription. I go, you know what? Pen Tester Lab. Oh no, okay, I do that for for a month. Then I come over. I'm like, cool, Hack Smarter Labs. What's up? Let me get into there. Let me have some fun there. Everybody's got something to bring to the table. I don't care how many times I've looked at how you do X, Y, or Z. If I look at it from somebody else's perspective, I usually pick up something new. I usually pick up some weird little nugget. I'm still spending my X amount of dollars per month, but I'm not doing it all at one time. Right? I'm spreading it out and I'm focusing on one platform at a time. And for me, that's always been the best way to go. So it doesn't have to be one of the other kids. It can be both and. You just got to go out there and make it happen.
That's really good.
Yeah. So let's see here. FedEx is asking me about B-Sides Orlando. I will be in B-Sides Orlando. I cannot wait, bro. I am set. I'm ready to fly. We're going to have a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, brother. Let's see here. Moving on. Got some more questions. You know what? Let's save some questions here. I've got a few questions of my own.
All right.
Tyler.
Let's do
And
it.
they're good ones. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have some fun here. And one of my first questions was, you put out a video, was it today or yesterday,
I don't
about
know.
Try Hack Me and their AI agent training. And
Yeah.
this is one of the things that you tend to do. Tyler likes to get his kickers on, find the nearest hornet's nest, and give it a good smack. Which is what we
This is
kind of
true.
like about you, right? And you had this whole video. I watched it. It was very intriguing. And I read all the comments that were available at the time when I watched it. And a really good comment section going on is there as well. And I would encourage anybody in our chat to have this conversation now while we got you here as well. What's going on with this? What are the developments? And yeah, let's have this conversation about this whole AI agent training thing.
Yeah. So I was almost not going to make that video. I was live streaming last night and I shared it with the live stream chat and I was like, guys, tell me honestly, should I make this video? Because if I do, there's a good chance I'm going to burn some bridges. Try Hack Me is a platform I got started with. If you follow me for any length of time, I have quite literally made hundreds of videos covering Try Hack Me rooms, promoting Try Hack Me. I've signed an NDA with them. I was serving on their QA team as a volunteer, QA new machines, making sure they were at good quality to be released on the platform. I've collaborated with them on Advent of Cyber. I've made rap songs for them. I'm personal friends with many of the people on Try Hack Me. You can watch the video on my channel for the folder overview, but the TLDR is Ben Spring, who is the founder of Try Hack Me, made a LinkedIn post 3 weeks ago saying, hey, I'm looking for a co-founder for a new AI pen test agent startup, and I have access to the largest proprietary data set for hackers and 1,000 VMs, and it's backed by Try Hack Me. What that sounds like to me is that he is using data from Try Hack Me, user data, like how users interact with machines, the machines that people have volunteered their time. So I shared before, I think I've created 4 challenge machines for the platform. I've never been compensated for that, but using that volunteer labor to then build a new startup with a focus on AI pen testing agent stuff. I first was made aware of that, not from the LinkedIn post, but someone posted in the Try Hack Me Discord and like a staff section that other people don't have access to, kind of calling Ben out for this. And then I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I started doing some of my own digging and I posted a question in the Discord that he recommend questions to be posted in, just asking my questions. And I wasn't going to make a video. I wanted to see how he was going to respond because he said, hey, I will respond at the end of the week. I'll read through all these thoughts. And then his response was basically, you can opt out of us collecting data for AI, but the way you opt out is by deleting your account. In the future, we hope to have more granular access to allow you to opt out, which just seems like a terrible answer to me. If you were going to announce this, you should have had the opt out available. He also said, at this moment, we're not using the data to train this agent. When we are doing that, we will notify you. But he made that LinkedIn post 3 weeks ago, did not notify the Try Hack Me community, did not notify me, or as far as I know, anyone else who was on the inside of Try Hack Me helping with the platform overall. And because he gave that answer, I was like, okay. Oh, and then he locked the channel. So from my perspective, now this could be completely wrong. This is my interpretation of things. It seems that he was trying to sweep it under the rug and basically like, hey, don't ask any more questions about it. And I was like, hey, well, I have a public platform. I have a YouTube channel. I am not for sale to any platform. I support Try Hack Me. I support Hack the Box, but I'm not for sale to them. I've made other videos being critical about various platforms, not as a jerk, but like, hey, just this is what the community is saying. And I feel like I have the opportunity to be a voice for the community. So that's what happened. Where things stand now, unless you have more questions, I have a little additional
Well,
context I can share now.
yeah, hold that thought, because it's we've seen this in the past, right? What was it, like last year, the year before? Microsoft starts telling us that, Copilot is coming and it's going to be watching everything you do and it's going to be trained off of everything that our users do. And everyone's like, whoa, that's not how we like to roll there, dog. So they kind of backpedaled on that and they took that out. Now I hear that's coming back and they're like, there's no way you're getting away with not doing this. You got X that turns from being, Twitter into X. And I don't want to get into the whole political topic and conversation around Elon. I don't really care about that. But the fact that all of a sudden he goes, I've got a giant user base of information, I can make the best AI on earth because of how much information I have. That to me seems like the too big ball rolling into this sphere. I feel like we're just going to keep seeing this. And for like what you say, if they're just telling you, well, the best way to not have this be a problem is to cancel your account. Well, I mean, if you want me to vote with my dollars and okay, I guess I can, but that's just kind of what I want to add to that. Like, is that where this is going? Is that where you see that most companies, you think this is going to be just the first step in that? You think Hack the Box is next? Do you think a bunch of other companies are going to be next?
I I think potentially, and I mean, to backtrack a little bit, like I have new information from when I made my video. Once again, I have friends that try hack me, and I reached out to one of my friends. I'm not going to say the person's name, but I was just like, dude, can you like what is going on here? And what's with Ben's freaking terrible response, in my opinion? And he was just like, yeah. The response is bad. The way he worded it is absolutely terrible. There's no excuse for that. But he's like, I can assure you on the inside of Try Hack Me, we are not doing anything right now to like take users' data. He's like, we're looking at some telemetry data on some of the VMs and some of the machines. So I don't think like right now, TryHackMe is harvesting a bunch of user data and using it to build this agent. But the way it was communicated with very little clarity and communication up front, and even now, Ben's response being like, hey, if you want to opt out, delete your account, that's very authoritarian to me and is the opposite of the hacker ethos. Like hackers and future hackers care deeply about how their data is being used rightly. And the platform called Try Hack Me that's teaching hackers how to hack stuff should not be surprised when you get pushback from the community when you have such a badly worded announcement in that way. I don't think like Hack the Box and OffSec and other platforms will follow suit if they see the pushback Try Hack Me get. So it's one thing for Google to do it, right? They already have all the data. But I think as the hacker community, we have a responsibility to hold these platforms accountable and for people who have a bigger voice. So, you know, the influencers, which it feels weird using that word, but I suppose I am one of those. For us who are influencers, it's fine to do sponsorships. I've done sponsorships for Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. It's fine to do that. But you have to have a little bit of backbone. And when things are being done that you think should be called out, like man up or woman up, regardless of your gender, and learn how to speak out. Not in a way that's aggressive, not in a way that's being a jerk. Maybe don't make a rap song like I did about OffSec a few years ago, but be willing to have a backbone and speak out with your influencer status.
You know, it's as easy as saying, you know what we're going to do? We've heard that there are some of you that are fine with this. It was kind of funny. I was reading your comment section on that, and somebody was like, what? I mean, you're going to have a bunch of people who are learning how to hack on boxes that are very, very easy. Like, how good could this be? I was like, and I think you even said, that's a very good point.
It was Tiberius, dude. So I was
Was
chatting
that
with
Tiberius that said that?
Yeah. We were chatting last night on Discord as soon as I released the video because he watched it, then he posted on Twitter and he has a big following on Twitter. And then he told me on Discord, is like, what's like, why would you want an AI agent trained on like brand new people to cyber? And I was like, dude, that's a good question. And he's like, I'm going to post that in your YouTube video. And I said, I'm going to pin your comment. So his comment is pinned on the video. But yeah, that's Tiberius.
It was like, Tiberius is smart. Be like Tiberius,
yes.
Right? It's so funny. But I was like, I mean, how difficult is it to just go, some of you want this, some of you don't. The some of you that don't care, we're taking your information and we're using it to train an AI. For those of you that don't want to do this, there's an opt-out button right there. Click it and we're all good. It's like, why alienate your user base? It doesn't make sense to me when it's literally that simple. So hopefully enough people, like you say, give enough pushback to say, you know, I would have been fine with this, but you said the only way to opt out is delete my accounts. All right, then. You know,
it's bad. It's bad wording.
Yeah.
And
challenge accepted. Week, right? Hold my beer.
He said, give me a week to read all these comments and I'll provide a fuller response at the end of the week. So I thought it would be a well-reasoned response. And he did answer some questions, but the fact that was his ultimatum in the beginning of the paragraph, I was like, dude, you could have at least run this through ChatGPT or something to soften the language. Like, come on now.
Yeah, create an agent like an LM that says, you are a cybersecurity student. You have no money. You're trying to get into a very difficult field that is very competitive. I'm going to
Yes.
tell you to go romance yourself. What kind of response are you expecting to get? Right? Like,
Yes.
all right. So, well, there's that. I just wanted to bring that up. It was kind of like in my news space anyway, and I saw that you had put that out, and I thought this is a really good conversation that we need to be having. That we should not just accept. I'm not that kind of person that just accepts. I remember I worked for a company that should not be named one time, and they were telling me that I had to fill out this form every week on my satisfaction with the company. And I'm like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me like painted in a corner so you're not satisfied here. We can fire you, we can let you go, whatever the case is. And now we have cause for that. So I went to them and I said, I have a question. Is this question about how I feel? It seems like that's PHI, like that's my mental health. And
Mhm.
I'm under no obligation to reveal that to you. Is that correct? Actually, it's kind of illegal for you to ask me this, isn't it? And they're like, well, just don't fill it out if you don't want to. And I was like, don't worry, I won't. I won't.
That is awesome.
So I feel like that's how we are. Like that's the kind
Mhm.
of people that do this, that enjoy what we do. Cybersecurity. It's just we're always pushing boundaries. We're always poking at okay, well, I know that's how it's supposed to be, but is that how it needs to be? I can check that, right? I need to question it. I need to
Yes.
question to see whether or not that's a good way to go and not just blindly accept that
Mhm.
that's what's up. So I thank you for the
Preach.
conversation on that. I think this is beneficial for not just us to kind of work our way through. And that's an interesting thought as well, is like most of the things I'm telling you right now, it's all half baked. It's just coming to my head and the more we talk about it, the more we can refine those arguments and understanding of the situation. So I'm glad that we're having a good dialogue on that. All right. That said, I do want to talk a little more with you about Kairos Sec. We've been
Yeah.
talking Hack Smarter. We've been talking Hack Smarter Labs, hacksmarterlabs.org. And so right.
Just
But you've also
hacksmarter.org. See, you
just
didn't
Hack
even get
Smarter
the
guy.
URL right. I
I'm
need to say it
sorry.
more.
You were supposed to leave it up on the screen. hacksmarter.org, hacksmarter.org, hacksmarter.org. Anywho, so Kairos though, right? By the way,
Mhm.
I am pronouncing that correctly, right? Because I know a little Koine. I know a little bit, right?
Maybe. You're maybe pronouncing it correctly. I maybe am too. So in seminary, those who don't know, I have a master's of divinity. I spent 3 years academically studying like theology, Greek, Hebrew, blah, blah. My seminary professors pronounced it Kairos, but one of my Greek viewers who watches me said it's Kairos. So just say it however you want. I don't really care,
Okay.
but
Well, I was under the impression that like modern Greek is different than
it
Koine Greek
is.
and
He said
classical Greek. And
enunciation is similar, but like meaning is
okay,
different. So like
interesting.
Kairos in modern Greek means time or weather. Kairos in ancient Greek is a very specific type of time, which I
Right.
we can
Appointed
unpack
time
that.
or season, right? That's how I learned it.
Yeah, so the Greek, if we take people back to Greek class, there's 2 words for Greek and Koine Greek or ancient Greek. You have chronos, which is chronological time or time on a clock, and then kairos, which is at just the right moment or an opportune moment. So when you think about in English, like living in the moment or doing something right at the correct moment, that's doing it in kairos time. So when it comes to pen testing, Kairos Sec is doing pen testing and security with a level of precision that is above the standard.
Nice. Nice. Y'all didn't know you were going to get a Greek lesson tonight, did you? Did you? You come to CyberCast After Dark, you think it's, cyber's the whole thing. But yeah, no, cool stuff. We're very diverse here. You will learn a multitude of different things at After Dark. That said, tell us a bit about this thing. What's your plan for it? What is your vision for Kairos Sec?
Yeah. So I actually see my friend Jerry over in chat. So hello. This is past his bedtime, I think. Like Jerry must have stayed up extra late just to watch us. So Jerry, good to have you staying up past your 6 o'clock at night bedtime.
I've
But
got the
Kairos,
hand
like,
pink waving. It doesn't show the.
yes. Anyways, Kairos Sec is going to be a boutique pen testing firm. For those of you who don't know that terminology, boutique means a very high focus on quality, a high focus on security research, and a high focus of working with clients as partners rather than being a massive company that just sees every single client as another name or a number. So very personalized support, personalized pen testing, and kind of tailoring the pen testing to each client. Now, for Kairos, I am the founder and will be doing most of the pen testing, at least in the first year. But my friend Jerry is my partner in it. Jerry is director of strategy, I think is the official title we gave him. But Jerry's helping immensely with really the business development side of things. If you've never started a business, there's kind of two different sales. You have business to consumer sales, which is what I do with my content in YouTube and courses. But what's a little bit harder to break into is business to business sales. There's significantly more revenue there, but it's harder just to get into that market. So me and Jerry are partnering on this to essentially find pen test clients. Now, I can't say it's going better, I think, than either one of us expected. We already have a few clients lined up or close to being lined up before the company even launches on October 1st. But ideally, what 2026 would look like is anywhere from 6 to 12 clients. 12 would be amazing, but for the entire year. And each one of those clients would be very personal pen testing support tailored to the organization. We offer all kinds of pen testing. So everything from web apps and APIs to cloud, AWS, Azure, and GCP, to networks, internals and externals, social engineering. There's probably things that I'm missing. But if you go to Kairos, sec.com, so Kairos sec, but Kairos-sec.com, you can see all of the service offerings that we are going to be bringing to the community. So a big goal behind Kairos sec is I'm really passionate about two things in this field. One is, of course, hacking stuff, but the other is teaching and making content accessible. Well, that's the same with Jerry. Well, he's not passionate about hacking stuff, but he's passionate about making cybersecurity content and training accessible. My hope is that I can use Kairos to essentially pay my bills and provide the revenue that I need to provide for my family. And if Kairos is successful, then I can keep my courses in my labs like incredibly affordable to the point that I'm even taking a loss on making them, but as a way of giving back to the community, because I won't need the money from that because I'll be making my primary revenue from pen testing, which is what I do now, but working for another company. But I want to build something of my own. I think with me and Jerry, we have the technical quality and the business expertise to make it legit one of the best pen testing firms around for a company to work with. So that's Kairos. I think the long-term plan, I still don't even know what it's going to look like long term. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to be wanting to hire employees. If you've never ran a business, you don't realize this. But when you have employees, it takes the complexity of your business and ups it to a significant degree. So for both Kairos and Hack Smarter, as things grow, I will likely hire contractors. So it might be like, hey, I have 3 contractors that work with me and I pay you, $100 an hour to do pen testing. I don't know if I'll ever hire like full-time employees. I don't want to be TCM security. Huge fan of TCM, huge fan of Heath. But even if you talk to Heath, there's a level of complexity when you reach that level and you have a bunch of different full-time employees working with you that is almost more stress than it's worth. And my primary motivation in this isn't to make a bunch of money. I freaking live in rural South Dakota. Like, I don't need that much money to pay my bills. I just want to be able to build something of my own, help other people in the community. And if I can do it without working a normal full-time job, that would be amazing. So that's the goal.
Dude, that's super awesome, man. I love that, right? You're trying to keep in your roots of being a pen tester as well as having a really great offerings when it comes to courses and labs, man. You're really covering a lot of ground. And I think that's as you grow, that and which is exactly what's going to happen. You are going to grow a lot in both of those places. If that's my prediction, because like you
I hope
said,
so.
you saw a really defined gap there in the lab environments. You saw a really defined gap when it came to training. I love, and anybody that knows me, I will preach it from the mountaintops that video training to me is the apex predator, right? Because we can take our time, we can put in all the work. It's cool to do the other forms and modalities of training, and they have their place. But I think if you could only have one in life, it's video on demand, right? Being able to watch at your own pace, stop, slow down, back up, go forward, skip ahead, come back, do another thing. Oh, you're right. Like you are in control. It's choose your own adventure with that. Yeah, we
Yes.
put it in a formats, but you don't, there's nothing that says you have to follow that format. If you need a specific episode, you need a specific learning, you go straight to that thing. And that's why I love video on demand training. I think it's the best. And it allows us to show our personalities, be engaging, have fun. And you do that really, really well. Anybody that's watched any of your live streams, anybody that's watching any of the, come watch me do hacking Active Directory stuff that you've been up to, like it's super fun. You're really good at it. And that's coming from someone that's been doing it for 10 years and prides
Thank you.
himself as being decent at this.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
So I see it. When I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's the thing. Yeah, it's that once upon a time in Hollywood. It's like, there it is. There it is. Right. I see it with you. So I think you're just
Thank you.
gonna blow up and keep growing. I can't wait to see Hack Smarter just get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're gonna have to take on Penta. It's just gonna happen. It's going to happen. Kairos is going to start. Well, we've got like 15 tests this year, so I need more pen testers. And okay. Oh, now we've got 20. Crap. I need more pen testers. Like, it's just going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Might as well just suck it up and realize you're going to be a tech mogul one day. So
Yeah, well, here in rural South Dakota, maybe I can build
That's
my
it.
own barn or something. Like
That's
there's
right.
no Lambos, but maybe I can get a barn in my backyard and like have a sheep or something and a few cows. That's how you know you made it in South Dakota.
That's exactly the golden barn at the top of the hill. Then you know you've made it to Master Ramsbey's house.
Yep.
He's got that crazy thing. All right, let's jump into some chat stuff. Let's see what the chat folks have got for us. And I saw some really good stuff going on here. Oh, this was an interesting one. It said this one's from Tech Grunt. It says, Hack Smarter, you guys convinced me to sign up for the CompTIA beta exam for, I assume, for the AI exam. So really cool. Best of luck to you, Tech Grunt. Yeah, kick some butt there. Let's see here. Others. Oh, here's one. Here's a fun one. From Wayne's Real World. Did Tyler draw those pictures? Tyler, are you an artist? Is that your artistic work?
Of course. When I'm not hacking, I grab my crayons and my markers, and I like to draw pictures of trains and random color. No, I got 2 kids. I have. Oh, there you go. Now you can see the full pictures.
Now you get the whole thing. Yeah.
I need to update them. We try to update them every New Year. So on New Year's Eve, it's the one time I let my kids stay up till midnight. And usually, as part of our New Year's Eve tradition, we'll take off all of the old pictures on the wall and replace them with new pictures. My kids are actually like super excited that when I stream, there's all these people who get to like see their artwork. Both my kids love drawing, they love coloring. My daughter is 8, my son is 5, and they're both amazing. And so yeah, it's pictures by them, and that's why I showcase it on stream.
Dude, one day we'll have to go. I've got a 9-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son who's about to be 5. So if we ever get the fam together, those kids will have a good time. That's for sure. Roswell, UK, trying to start a grammatical religious war. Is it niche or niche?
I don't even know, dude. I don't care. That's my answer. I don't care. I don't care.
I love that answer.
What's your
it's
answer?
Whatever you say it is.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that. So funny. All right, let's see here. Okay, here's a legit one from White Hat Sheepdog. How do you balance being a pen tester and a great father at the same time? Just guessing from the wall of amazing drawings behind you. So yeah, I mean it can be tough, man. There's sometimes I got to tell my kids, I'm like, hey, dad's got to work, dad's got stuff to do, dad's got to go do a live stream, dad's got to blah blah blah. I can only imagine the same is very true for you as well. How do you balance family time with being a pen tester, running a business now, and getting all that stuff together?
So this has always been something I've struggled with all the way back to when I was a pastor, because this is something pastors struggle with as well. I mean, if you've ever heard of the notorious pastor's kid who grows up as a rebel, right? Often that's because that kid's mom or dad spent all their time with the church and no time with their family. That's the same thing in the business world. So my commitment back when I was a pastor is the same as my commitment now. At the end of the day, you have to cheat something. Either you will cheat your family or you'll cheat your business and career. I think it's a much better option to cheat your business and your career and not cheat your family. Now, I don't recommend people to pattern their schedule off of my schedule. You need to find what works for you. What works for me is I work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Both my kids are in school. They wouldn't see me anyways, especially during the school year. When I'm off work at 5 p.m., I fully disconnect and I hang out with my kids until they go to bed. So I can't show you guys. I have another table here. We were playing checkers together. We were doing some coloring together. And so I'm very, very focused on that. Back before my son was in school, I would also spend every single lunch break with my kids. And I do this in the summer as well. I go on lunch. Me and my kids will go outside. We'll go to a playground. We'll hang out. We'll do something there. So lunch breaks are dedicated to them. All my evenings are dedicated to them. I don't stream or make content again until my kids are asleep. And on the weekend, the same thing. On the weekend, I'll work in the evenings, but I disconnect to the best of my ability on Saturday and Sunday to be fully present to them. And that's even like when I was talking about Kairos X growth with employees, a big reason I'm not focused on hyper growth is you cannot build a fast growing business while being a good parent. At least I don't think you can. You almost have to choose one of the two. So if I get in a Kairosec and it gets to his place where I am sacrificing my family to make a silly company succeed, I will walk away from all of this in a heartbeat. It's why I left pastoral ministry. I thought that was my calling. That was what I signed up for. I did that for 10 years. I left it because it started having a detrimental effect on my family, and I walked away from all of it to jump into a new career. And I am not joking that the moment that pen testing or Kairosec or Hack Smarter causes me to sacrifice quality time with my family, especially my kids, you will never see another video from me. I will literally delete my YouTube channel. I will delete all of my platforms. I will walk away from all of it because at the end of the day, money can only do so much for you. I literally just want to be able to pay my bills, which isn't that much money. Once I'm able to pay my bills, the extra time that I have, I'm not using it to build up a multi-million-dollar business. I'm using that to give even more time sowing into the life of my kids and my wife, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. If you succeed as a business owner, you buy that Lambo, you make a bunch of money, but your kids freaking hate you and they want nothing to do with you when they grow up because you spend all your time staring at a freaking stupid computer screen, you are not a success, my friend. You are a failure. And the sooner we realize that as people in this field, the better it will be, not only for our families, but for our personal health. So, long answer to that question. You need to make sure your priorities are straight and do not even say, well, for the next 6 months, I'm going to be busy. No, shut your freaking mouth. Figure out how to prioritize your family or quit your job. Figure out one of the two.
That's right. You only get so many rotations around the sun, man, and you can't hook a U-Haul up to your casket. So, like you said, family is one of the most important things. I feel the exact same way. For me, I got married and had a family because I wanted something that was more than myself, right? I wanted to leave a legacy of and put everything that I know and do into my kids and see them grow, see them push beyond their boundaries, see them do all their first things and help them
Yeah.
get through that stuff. That stuff is gold. There's not enough money on this earth that could buy that from me. So I love that you feel the same way. And it is really easy for us because I'm just that kind of person. I've literally had to tell my wife, if I'm missing something family wise, please send me a text. It's most likely that I have gone super ADHD on something and I'm hyper focused in and I literally have no idea that it's
Yeah.
been 3 hours or whatever. So you
Yes.
have to knock me out of my stupor because that's the weird thing about how my brain works. So I need help with that. So for you to be out there telling us, hey, don't forget, don't neglect the things that are really important. I used to make jokes about making content and stuff. I'm like, the people are like, how you doing, Daniel? I'm like, oh, I'm just working on my first stress-induced heart attack. it's, and it can feel like that sometimes. You have to take time. You have to step back. I saw Jerry, hopefully he's still in chat. He was talking about unplugging by the end of the year. He needs to take some time
I
because if he
told them that,
doesn't,
dude. I told them to do
dude,
that. We had that. So I do that as well at Kairosec. Basically, December 17th on. So the last 3 weeks of the year, I don't work. That's the same where I work now. We take the last part of the year off. Who cares if you make less money? It's good for you. But yeah, me and Jerry just talked about that in a call, I think, yesterday.
yeah, that's super cool. And I understand there are people out there that, right, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. You got to work. I get it, man. And it's just stress on top of stress. But find those little pieces of time and invest in your family, invest in the people around you that love you, because that's the kind of stuff that keeps you going, that keeps you energized. So I would highly recommend you always carve out some time for that. All right, great answers. Great, man. It's getting deep. It's getting deep here today, but I love it. I love every last second of it. All right, where's my chat, my room? Okay, here's a good one from Taekwon Gong. Do you have a hacker library? That's a great question. I love this question. Is it still books or is it mostly websites and stuff now? Like, and actually, there's a deeper question behind this question, I think, Tyler. What does Tyler Ramsbey do to skill up? How do you get new skills? How are you staying on top of things in an ever-changing, fast-moving environment such as cybersecurity?
Yes, good questions. I'll start with the hacker library one. I don't have too many books on hacking, primarily because when you buy a book on hacking, it's going to be outdated. I mean, you have the classic like web app hacker's handbook, things like that. But really, the websites, Portswigger, those type of resources are better for a library than actual physical books. But I will say I do have a pretty big library of books on philosophy, theology, life in general. I personally think reading is incredibly important. Turning off a screen and actually reading a book, even if it's not about cyber, will teach you a lot. There's a lot more to being a hacker than just hands on keyboard. There's philosophy type things, there's emotional health type things. All of that stuff I think is vital, and you get a lot of that from reading. So I don't have a hacker library in the traditional sense, but I could show you guys my little streak. I have a Kindle paper, or not a paperwhite, a scribe now, so you can like write on it and take notes. I also have physical books, but that keeps track of my streak, and I don't even know how many weeks I am now, but I read every single day for my own personal growth. And then the other question is, how do I skill up? I think that was the next one.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Are you taking training courses like everybody else? Or I mean, it seems weird. I take training, right? I sit other people's training. I've gone to in-person training at cons and things of that nature. And of course, you're just watching new stuff that comes out. But like, what's Tyler's approach to staying on top of the pertinent and relevant cybersecurity skills in your niche?
Yeah, two things. One is just the whole idea that I'm a practitioner, guys. So like I I'm in a different client environment every single week with generally a new stack of technology, and I'm doing research figuring out how I can hack into it. So my job as a pen tester lends really well to continued research and development because I'm forced to do that in every engagement that I'm on. I also like to do security research. So I shared before I have a handful of CVEs. I'll just pick like an open source project that's trending on GitHub and hack a bunch of stuff and report it to the vendor and work with them to patch it. I also creating content, and Daniel, you'd be able to vouch for this. If you might think you know something until you're forced to teach it. So, for example, even my Sliver C2 course I'm teaching right now, there were so many things that I did not know as well as I thought I knew until I was forced to sit down and teach it for a student to follow along. And by making content, I spent a lot of time doing deep dives into different technology and in different ways that networking works. So that would be my answer. I don't do too much like training in the traditional sense. I like to do hack the box and things like that to solve their machines for learning. But I think it's a little bit different as a pen tester just because day in and day out, I'm pen testing in new environments and learning as I go because I'm forced to, but also because I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I push people into, like, I'm not saying become a bug bounty hunter properly and like focus all your answer. Maybe you find something that you love and that's where your heart is and that's the way you go. But I think it's a great way, like to your point, is you see the things as they're happening. You're working in that environment every day. And I've heard this answer quite a bit from a lot of the pen testers that I know, is that it's like, oh, well, we just kind of run into problems and we have to figure it out. So we learn about the technology and then blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you
Yep.
want to mimic that style of learning, one of the best ways you can do that is getting into a bug bounty program, getting out there, start looking at scopes, start creating documents and work your way through how those web applications work, how those APIs work. If you're doing responsible, okay, please be doing responsible disclosure. working on software apps, working on hardware. You can do a lot of this stuff for a lot of different types of technologies. You just got to get out there and start doing it. And it's free, costs you zero money, other than like if you're going to buy a device, like, oh, I'm going to go to Goodwill and buy a $10 Asus router that was sitting on the shelf. I'm going to pop it open. I'm going to start pulling bits off. I'm getting into the hardware stuff. I enjoy that. But that's a great way to skill up in a way that's completely different than the way a lot of people are doing it. So I love that was your answer, and it kind of leads people into, well, how do I mimic that? Start looking at bug bounty stuff. Follow NahumSec, follow Jason Haddix. They got great stuff out there for you. Yes. All right, I think we got time for one more. I'll go rapid fire, actually. Okay, here's one. Did we miss the evening pour? You didn't technically miss it because we didn't have one. I'm kind of thinking about doing away with the evening pour and thinking of something else. The monsters were killing me at night. I have to figure out something. Right now, I'm drinking tea in my Yoda cup.
That's hilarious.
So it was literally, I could go to bed until like 1 a.m. I was bloated. It was horrible. Let's see here. Here's one interesting one. How do you keep from the right path of the gray areas in this field that sometimes come up? You had a wonderful short video about keeping one's soul. Sorry for the terrible wording, but no problem. Alice, I assume she's talking to you there, Tyler.
Trying to think of what short it would have been. So it's hard to answer this because I don't want to be preachy on YouTube. Like, I don't want to talk theology type stuff on YouTube, but I will just say you can't really stay on a right path without defining what you mean by a right path. So for me personally, I'm a follower of Jesus, not from a religious sense, but I do believe a guy named Jesus lived 2,000 years ago, and he's the most incredible teacher who ever lived. And I think he died. I think he rose from the dead. And I think if that happened, it changes everything. So my definition of what is right and wrong goes back to me trying to follow this rabbi from 2,000 years ago. And Jesus's definition of that would be love God, love people. So the right path for me is, how can I love people well in this moment? And doing unethical things such as, selling user data or breaking the law or hacking companies without producing that's not the right way to love other people. So that's how I define it. But I think you have to define for you, what does a right path look like? I'm not trying to push Jesus on you, but that's where I find my own morality and my own purpose.
Awesome answer. All right, and one last one from Whitehat Sheepdog. Tonight's episode was very therapeutic. Thank you for keeping it real. It was a very real episode. I agree. This was a fun episode. You were a great guest. I mean, we're at time, and I'm like, man, why does it have to be 10 o'clock already? Stinking thing. Now we gotta go spend time with our families and do other stuff, right? It's got to make sure we stay to those clocks. But man, I really appreciate you showing up today, Tyler. I appreciate all your answers, your insights. I love that you're always very open and honest with what's going on with Tyler and how Tyler's trying to do things and how Tyler's working stuff out. I keep speaking about you like you're a different person and not you. I don't know why I'm doing that, but hey, it is what it is. But I do, again, just thank you so much. For those that are out there wanting to follow you, say it again for everybody that's paying attention. Where can we follow you? How can we hang out? Where's the next place we're going to see you? That kind of stuff. What do you got coming up?
Yes. So number one, hacksmarter.org. Go freaking sign up, enroll in a course. You will love it, I promise. But I stream all the time on YouTube. If you just search for Tyler Ramsbey, you will be able to find me. I usually stream tonight, but tonight I, of course, had this show. And then I have to do some video work for my course and do some video work for Hack the Box. So I think someone said in chat, like, Tyler's Hack the Box's enemy. I'm actually very good friends with Hack the Box. We partner on a lot of things, just to be clear on that. So I'll be doing some video content for them. But tomorrow night, I'll be back on stream on my channel. So tomorrow night and Friday, starting around 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, or basically whenever I can get my kids to bed, you'll be able to join me on my channel. We usually spend the first 20 to 30 minutes doing kind of Q&A and just answering any questions you have. And then we spend the remainder of the time doing live hacking. I teach as I go. So if you want to learn about how to hack stuff, come watch me on YouTube. I live stream all the time. Would love to have you join.
You going to be at Simply CyberCon at all, virtually or IRL?
Yeah, so I'll be at Wild West Hacking Fest as well. That's in like 2 weeks over in Deadwood, and then I will be at Simply CyberCon in November. And like I've shared this a few times, not enough. I'm actually the keynote speaker for Simply CyberCon, so I will be kicking things off in person. So if you're going to be at Simply Cyber, my wife's actually coming with me on that trip. I'm pumped. So Wild West Hacking Fest, Simply CyberCon, and DEF CON are the 3 conferences I attend.
Awesome. I'm trying to make it work right now to get out to Simply CyberCon. So hopefully I'll get to hang out with you there. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you, Tyler, and thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed this stream. We do it on Wednesday nights at 9. If you want to join the Discord, the link is down in the description. Definitely check out Hack Smarter. I know Tyler's also got a Discord. Get plugged in, man.
I
Everybody
didn't even
join
know
our
you had a
community.
Discord.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
bro.
goodness. I'm
Yeah.
joining right now, dude.
Get in, brother. Get in there. We'll see you in there. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, keep hacking.